Hey out there, this is August 8th, 2015. And today I wanted to talk about this engineered and controlled collapse of the American empire that we're experiencing and the subsequent collapse of the entire civilization, internationally speaking, and society at large. This decadent phase that humanity is entering, or has actually entered, and are continuing to experience this disintegration, the decline of social etiquette, social morals, social fiber, ethics. And I'd like to try to get into some of the current events as well. But what we've got going in America today is what's happened throughout history. Anytime you read in a history book about, for instance, the fall of the Roman Empire or some other mighty empire that rose up and suddenly it was taken down. And it's happened time after time. We see with Nazi Germany, for example, Hitler being democratically elected, in all honesty, never would have been democratically elected if he had divulged his plans for genocide. As far as I know, the general public was ignorant about who Hitler really was and what his agenda really was. So, nonetheless, through deceit, trickery, which is an established method of operation for murderous, lying, hypocritical thug rulers throughout history, he gained that power and was able to pull off what he pulled off. And we are at a very, very intriguing, to say the least, point in history right now. Even myself, who have been studying scripture for decades now and really have believed pretty much in the existence of the possibility, at least, of off-world beings, extraterrestrials, beings from other planets, has never seemed particularly far-fetched for me, even since childhood. But when I look at events today and I say, oh my gosh, you start putting it all together, and then you understand just how real Bible prophecy is, how these times we're going through were predicted a long time ago, how the traditional solution, which is not a solution, of a violent revolution, it's not a solution because by empirical evidence, through observing the reality that it has not solved any problems when you keep having the same problems rise up again, and it's oppression. And it's done through trickery. It's done through getting people to believe in the monetary-based reality, that this is what it's all about. This is what it should be all about. It's all about money. Make a lot of money and serve your masters well, fit in, conform, and you will be rewarded well. You will have safety. You will have security. You will have freedom if you serve your master well and revere your master. And the reality being the opposite can't help but to create a lot of conflict in us. And, things are confluencing, to conflating, to make this horrendous beast system that we're living under now, where the rulers have taken great control. They've usurped it. They've hijacked it. They've stolen great control illegitimately. And more they're coming out overtly and just unabashedly, unashamedly telling the public, yes, the whole climate change thing is all about depopulation. That what we really want to do is we want to get rid of the vast majority of human beings because we see them as the #1 problem. And who are we? We are the elitists of the world. We are those that believe we are better than others. And although we love our own lives and we would do nothing to hurt ourselves, we want to hurt you. We want you to accept submitting to our decrees, our illegitimate whims, our fancies. And if those fancies happen to mean that we've got to bring down 7 billion people and annihilate them in the name of saving the planet, and this is somehow a moral thing, that you are going to destroy humanity to save the planet. You know, there is a very perverted logic there. There really is. Because if these people actually believe that, then they are demented and deluded and deceive themselves. They are thinking illogically, but almost making it appear sensible and reasonable somehow. If you say, yes, I want to be one of those few percentage that is left over, or what? Are you one of the ones that are willing to go kill yourself out there in the name of saving the earth? It's nonsensical. And, you know, this idea, recently watching the Alex Jones show, they had this Jim Mars on. This guy is very knowledgeable. I respect him immensely, but, you know, if you go listen to the Alex Jones show recently on YouTube, you'll see, you know, this interview he had with him. And some of the stuff he was saying was remarkable. You know, this whole idea of peak oil, the whole idea of overpopulation, all these things are contrived in the minds of these wicked people ruling over us. And this is a perverted propaganda. This stuff is, you know, if you can see at all, you can see that these people are sick and twisted, okay? But it's also easy to see that you can be deceived by these people because of their own seeming belief in what they're spewing out. These lies and this hatred and this agenda they have to commit this unthinkable, unprecedented degree of genocide upon the earth. And when we, you know, see what's going on here, and, you know, you tie it into what the Bible says and this whole, you know, the end of an age and the beginning of a new age and this return of Jesus and the separation of the wicked from the righteous, and how, you know, the Father will, you know, call the shots at a time before all flesh is destroyed, because that is their plan. That is their agenda, is to destroy most of the flesh on the planet, most of the human beings. So I don't know anybody out there that can feel particularly happy at this point in history. And I'll be the first guy to admit I'm suffering a lot. I'm very unhappy and I'm very miserable with the state of affairs on planet Earth. And what do I do with that? Well, you know, like everybody else that has a healthy mind, you know, that you're mentally stable and mentally strong, mentally healthy, it makes you want to cut your wrist. In all frankness, that's the kind of feelings it conjures up for me. Because on one hand, I will tell everybody, and by virtue of the fact that I make these videos and I get things off my chest, I say what I've got to say. That I say, fight the good fight. Do whatever you can, reach anybody you can, talk to everybody you can with the truth, and you're doing what you can. You're getting it off your chest. Beyond that, if you are ready indeed for a perfect world down to the smallest detail, which I highly recommend everybody get ready for that world, then you can walk in knowing that God is on your side, that you are ready, that you have cultivated that place that is perfect, a place where it's not run by evil people creating evil policy we all have to live under. You know, these people are the same ones that say human interaction with the earth is destroying it, that are suppressing clean energy technologies often. These are just mean people. These, if you think you're miserable, you think I'm miserable or anybody else, these are the most miserable people. That's what's happening here. We are being formed in their image and in their likeness. And since they are so miserable, that's a very deep well, okay, of misery that they are trying to impose upon humanity, just to make up for how miserable they are. because they know on an intuitive, instinctive level that their days are numbered, that they're going down. The time is short for evil people to continue their reign of terror over humanity. And it's not going to be another bloody revolution, like I pointed out. We're way too far down the line. What's happening here? This is a revolution of intellect, of thought, of understanding, knowledge, wisdom, learning, accurate education, accurate information has come out now. And humanity is waking up at large. But we are realizing, even if we all woke up, except for those few evil rulers that create the policies, the arbitrary, capricious policies and laws, dictates and decrees that we all have to live under, that they are above because they have declared that by fiat. They decide that's what they're going to do. Understand how they're controlling us through the money printing, by being our masters. This is the source. This is the teat of all humanity. We're nursing at the teat of the money masters, who are nothing more than Satanists, witting or unwitting, and all the minions of the establishment therein that go along with this system. It doesn't matter if you're blind and ignorant to the evil that you're involved in. You're still going to the same place because you have the same opportunity to seek the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, to store true treasures in your heart, okay, where nothing can destroy it, to understand that invisible values are indeed the greatest values. These are the greatest treasures we can ever have. That we should not be soliciting, peddling this money-based reality and telling people to fit in and be like me, have common sense, be pragmatic, be practical, be down to earth, and just go out and succeed in the world in the way the secular world defines success, which is contrary, diametrically opposed, 180 degrees away from the way, the spirit of truth. That's all I'm talking about. I'm talking about a cosmic relationship here with our Creator, understanding that everything about you is owned. It's a gift. It's loaned. It's given from above for you to enjoy. It's your very life. It's your senses. It's your brain, your ability to think, to imagine. All this stuff is a gift that was given to you, and you can tap into it and make sure and honor and accredit the right one, and that's the Almighty Creator God, the Most High God. This is who we're owned by. That's the potter. We are the pottery. Understand the proper relationship first and foremost. And to shift gears a little bit, I'd like to talk about this love for enemies. And at the end of the day, I get really down sometimes. I look at my own behavior and I think, God, why do I engage in beating myself up? Nobody benefits from this. You know, it doesn't do anybody any good. It doesn't make me feel any better. But yet I feel like I need these distractions, these diversions, these self-imposed forms of escapism that I engage in. And I say all it is a downer in the long run. Why do I do this? You know, why don't I, be as happy as I possibly can? And then I look around me, and I feel so grateful on one hand for everything good in my life, all the people that are good in my life, all the things I have, the sense of security, the sense of freedom I have. And I think I don't want to feel lucky to have those things. I want everybody to have those things.